Today I'm going to talk about Gothic art. It was the year 1140 when Abbot Suger decided that he was tired of the Romanesque style being the dominant architectural preference of the time and wanted a change. To increase the prestige of the French monarchy, Suger, along with other builders, began working on the ambulatory of the Royal Saint-Denis to update it in a grand fashion. The ambulatory was finished in 1144. It now permeated with light and was clad with gems. It was as if the new ambulatory took people on a road to paradise. The builders eliminated the walls between the radiating chapels to create the rib vaults that you see today. The light that was reflected by the stained glass windows was called Lux Nova, or New Light by Suger. This stained glass and the rib vaulting became characteristic of French Gothic architecture. A few years later, in 1160, construction on Lyon Cathedral began. A lot of Romanesque features were retained in the cathedral, such as the large six-partite rib vaults, followed by two small groin vault squares in each aisle, as well as bundles of 3 to 5 shafts that framed the aisle bays. The architects knew that adding rib vaults that rested on pointed arches was the right thing to do. Lyon's 4-story elevation with the nave arcade, vaulted gallery, triforium, and clerestory is putting this cathedral one step ahead of its Romanesque competitors. Lyon's west facade displays a large rose window with the open structure of the towers. Moving along to 1194, where Chartres Cathedral was undergoing some serious repairs after its tragic fire. Its rectangular nave bays were replaced with square bays with sexpartite vaults. Chartres took it up a notch when it was the first church planned to have flying buttresses. Ooh, kill 'em. One thing that is different about Chartres Cathedral is that its nave is relatively dark compared to other Gothic cathedrals. This is the result of Chartres windows being light muffling colored glass. Moving on to Chartres' royal portal. The theme of integration can be seen in the overall sculptural decoration, where all the elements are coordinated into an iconographical plan, focused on the comings of Christ and the Christian plan of history. The tympanum of the south or right portal focuses on the theme of incarnation. All of the structures in the portal proclaim the power and majesty of Jesus Christ. On the capitol, scenes of Mary and Jesus' life are seen. These capitals form some type of linking frieze from one entrance to the next. In the 13th century, 1220 to be exact, construction on Amiens Cathedral began. Amiens is at the top of the cathedral game with 144 feet nave vaults. Is that Gothic or not? Amiens' overall structure is a reflection of the high Gothic style. The rectangular bay system, 4-part rib vault, and buttressing system makes Amiens the realest Gothic cathedral out there. Next, we move on to the mother of pearl of Gothic architecture with Rheims Cathedral. The King's Gallery of elongated statues is above the rose window. It was the builder's goal to literally stretch every detail of the facade. The openings to the towers are more slender, narrower, and more intricately decorated than ever before. Now we have Sainte-Chapelle in Paris, France. This building is the easiest to identify because it is known for its glass-stained windows. The windows are 49 feet high and 15 feet wide and are only supported by vertical stone bars. There is an extreme focus on slenderness and linearity, and I am loving it. Sainte-Chapelle was built by Louis IX in 1243 as an extension to the royal palace and a repository of relics that belonged to Christ that he had purchased. The light that filters into this building creates an unearthly rose-violet atmosphere. Saint-Maclou brings a flamboyant 14th century style to the table. Its 5 portals bend outward in an arc. It's decorative with curves on countercurves on curves. The transparent pinnacles over the doors allow visitors to see the central rose window and flying buttresses. The flying buttresses are out of this world. If you're ever in Rouen, France, I advise you to go see this, ladies in Mike Park. Stepping away from the architecture, here we have the large silver gilt figure known as the Virgin of Jean Devereaux. Mary stands on a rectangular base decorated with scenes from Christ's Passion in a swaying S form with baby Jesus in her hand. Mary is implied not only to be the mother of Christ, but as the Queen of Heaven, as she originally had a crown on her head. She is standing flawlessly with a scepter in her hand and is making this mommy thing look easy. Snaps and claps for you, Mary. You go, girl. Now back to architecture. We move from Paris to England with Salisbury Cathedral. The builders of this cathedral said goodbye to verticality and hello to horizontality. This caused the builders to relax with the flying buttresses and go to classic 3-story elevation. It's classic in that it has pointed arches and a 4-part rib vault, but it's different in its rich color contrast between the light stone walls and dark marble triforium and piers. Well, it's been real, and I hope you've enjoyed kicking it with me for these couple of minutes. Good night, and God bless. Peace out.